I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce the brand or the manufacturer's name of this. It's either EZVIZ or I quite like EZVIZ because these are cameras and they have easy visibility, maybe? I don't know. They see well, it's easy for them. So we'll go with EZVIZ because I just think it flows off the tongue a little better. So what I've got today is a video doorbell from EZVIZ. The model number is the EP3x Pro. As you can see there, this is the box that it comes with. And this is one of your twin camera type of doorbells. So you have your typical front facing wide angle camera, and then you have a camera at the bottom to monitor package deliveries and perhaps people's feet, if that's your sort of thing. It's a 2K camera. I'm not sure whether that resolution specifies the two combined or whether each lens is 2K. But watching some of the video footage, which I might actually just do now, I think each camera, it doesn't look 2K to me. Let me just look at the info file on this because it will tell me what the resolution is. Actually, I should have thought to check first. So the top camera is 1968 by 1504, and the bottom camera, no, sorry, right, bottom camera is 1080p, 1920 by 1080, and the top camera was, whatever I just said it was, 1968 by 1504. So the top camera is slightly higher resolution than 1080p. It's 1504 instead of 1080, whereas the bottom one is 1920. So the top one's ever so slightly higher. I don't think that quite qualifies as 2K. What technically is 2K resolution? Should that not be double 1080p? Yeah, 2K common resolutions, 2048 by 1080 would be a 2K resolution, or sometimes for monitors 2560 by 1440, also known as 1440p. So it's not really a 2K camera unless you want to add them up together and then the total pixels come to over 2K. So yeah, they're your actual resolutions, 1968 by 1504 for the front facing one, and then 1080p for the bottom one. The reason I had to do that this way is because in the options on your phone, there is no quality adjustment. You can't change the resolution, you can't change the compression or the quality. So that's why I had to do that, just to be sure. But now we know. And you'll see some video footage, obviously, in a little while where I show you the quality. Let's just have a quick peek at the device itself. Obviously, the way these things look, and whether you like the way they look, it's entirely up to you. You've got your doorbell button on the front there. You've got a PIR sensor. You've got your top lens on the side. There is a charging port for the USB-C cable that comes included, and a microphone input. On the bottom, you have two lights that will light up your feet and in your package delivery area, along with the 1080p camera there. On the back, we have a power button and a reset button, and then we have two screws that will allow you to connect either the solar panel, or you can use these included cables that come with it and connect it to an existing powered doorbell. Now, presumably, if you're buying a solar powered doorbell, you're not going to want to connect it to an existing powered doorbell wiring, so you'd choose a different option. It would be, you're buying this because you want to use the solar powered functionality. At least that makes sense to me. So that's what those two are there for. They can connect your solar panel up. You've also got a QR code on the back. That is for use with the app. You download the EZVIZ app, and then you scan the QR code and it installs the device. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I think it also does it via Bluetooth as well. Once you've powered, yes it does, once you've powered this up, you can do it via Bluetooth. So you've got two ways of connecting to the app. I won't take you through the app because there is a million different options, a million different screens, but it's your typical set up an account, scan or Bluetooth the device, and then you've got a few different options about how you want it to operate, whether you want to use full color night vision, black and white night vision. There's a few scheduling options you can have. If you want, it can be linked to Amazon Alexa or Google Smart Home systems. There's also a whole array of other accessories. You can have doorbell chimes, and EZVIZ themselves do a whole load of security cameras that can be used in conjunction with this. They also do smart hoovers and other various smart home devices, should you want to check them out. It comes with, and I like this, 32 gig of built-in storage. I reviewed a security camera the other day from a different brand. Didn't have any built-in storage, didn't even include a micro SD card. That was a little bit pikey. This 32 gig included, which is great. The battery is 5,200 milliamp hour. Of course, it's waterproof. We have a PIR wide field of view, 6-meter night vision. You'll see this in a minute. And your typical, you know, two-way communication through the device and your phone, should you want to give instructions to someone that's at your door. That's pretty much the basic functionality. There are some AI functions where it can detect humans, animals, packages all independently, and vehicles. In my testing, and these are beta functions, in my testing, they, much like a lot of other brands I've tested, they don't work very well, and you're better off. The human detection is not too bad. The package detection doesn't, you should leave it turned off. I was getting notifications that packages had been delivered and then disappeared when nothing had happened. It was just my door. When I looked at the footage, there's just my empty doorstep. And I knew there was no package being delivered as well, because I have other CCTV around the house and nobody had come anywhere near the property. So the fact that they're in beta is fine. You know, they're in beta, they're not expected to work correctly. But if you want to buy this specifically for monitoring package deliveries and getting notifications saying a package has been delivered, rather than a notification that someone has been there, because it will, if a guy walks up with a package, it will pick him up and it will trigger it. It's just, if you specifically choose to use the AI package recognition function, I at least got notifications that there were packages there, and then the packages were disappearing, 2 separate notifications. So that's definitely something that's in beta and should be left unused for now, at least, in my opinion. So that's the unit itself, and this is the solar panel. As you can see, it's just a small solar panel. It comes with 3M tape, or you can use screws to affix it to your property, and then there's your twin connectors, twin pins that go behind the screws on there. So it's super simple to install. This itself comes with 2 different brackets. There is an angle bracket should you need to mount at an angle on your door frame. Again, it can either be 3M or you can use screws, and then there is a flat bracket as well. This will clip onto either of those, and then it can be released using almost like a SIM card removal tool that's included in here as well. Without that tool, you can't get it off without breaking it off. And you can set an anti-tamper alarm as well. So that's all the bits and bobs that come with it. You get this manual, quick start manual, and there's a QR code on there. The QR code literally takes you to the PDF of the manual online. It would have been nice if that QR code took you to the app in your relevant app store, but it doesn't. It just takes you to the PDF version of the manual. Anyway, that's all the bits and bobs that come with it. That's its specification. That's what it can and can't do. Now let's have a look at the all-important footage. First of all, I'm going to show you a video that I took using my phone of this installed in place. This will also give you an opportunity to listen to like my voice outside through a relatively good microphone on my phone, before we then watch the same footage recorded on the video doorbell itself. So let's just stick that up now and you'll see how it's installed. Here we are, temporarily installed for this review. As you can see, you've got your solar panel to the left and your main doorbell to the right there, and you can see the camera obviously pointing down at the bottom. We do have this wire that's a little unsightly. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't really think of a better way of doing it, because you do need to join your solar panel to your doorbell to keep it charged. But I mean, perhaps depending on your wall or the type of front door you have, maybe you can find somewhere to hide this. I'd probably tuck it up under there if I could, if it was a permanent installation. But that's what the 2 units look like installed on the front of the building. Okay, yeah, so you can see, how it sits on the wall with the solar panel in place. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Now, let's look at the same footage from the Doorbell's camera. And we have to do this in two separate clips because the top and bottom cameras, they don't stitch the images together to make one long image like some other brands that I've tested do. It's two separate video files. So I'll show you the top camera first. If it was a permanent installation, but that's what the two units look like installed on the front of the building. Obviously, personal preference as far as the aesthetics and the looks go, but it's a fair size couple of objects to be stuck to the front there, but there you are. And I'd say the sort of daylight quality we're getting there is comparable to other brands. They all still compress the video and audio far too much for my liking, considering there is 32 gig of storage on the device. That video clip took up 3.8 meg. Like, you could have 1,000 of them on there. It's totally unnecessarily compressed. You could have much better quality, far less compression. But again, it's what I'm seeing on other manufacturers, whether it's Ring or Eufy or Aosu, whoever, they're all very similar in that respect. Big compression, small file sizes. Now let's look at the same footage, just very briefly, of the lower camera, and obviously you'll see the bottom half of my body. So that's how the footage is stored when it's recording from both cameras, two separate files. And that is what your daytime footage looks like, and that is how the inbuilt microphone sounds. As I say, the quality is typical of these video doorbells and sort of wireless CCTV cameras that I've tested so far. Nothing terrible, nothing amazing. Let's we'll have a look at the so I pretended to be a delivery driver and I delivered myself a package. We'll have a look at this now because you'll get to see how quickly it triggers when someone approaches with a package. Now, as you saw there, it was a little bit late with triggering. I'd kind of sat the package down before it started recording. If I show you the low down camera version, you'll see that I've put it down, I give the thumbs up, and then I walk away. Now, that's partly because of my installation. My front door is approached from the side rather than from directly forwards. But in fairness, PIRs don't function the best when walking directly towards them. When you read the instructions, the install instructions for a lot of these cameras, whether it's video doorbells or CCTV cameras, they say to try and have the cameras so that subjects pass left to right or right to left over the PIR rather than directly towards it, because that can cause late triggers. But for me, you're walking from the side anyway, and should that be how your property is, that is how it will be. You'll get the trigger ever so slightly late. I think, in fairness, if you walk towards it, it would probably still trigger faster than what it does from the side. Obviously, as you can see in my footage there, I have an oil tank directly in front of me, so I can't walk up to it to test that out. But that's how it would look if someone delivered you a package. Again, that's the daytime footage. Now let's have a look at the night vision. We'll go full colour first of all and show you what that looks like. This is, again, it's heavily compressed, and the light, considering I'm only maybe a metre away, is not particularly bright. I'm not that well lit. I'd say this is perhaps a little worse than some other cameras that I've tested for a full colour night vision, but I will say that all the cameras and doorbells I've tested with colour night vision, none of them are particularly good. They're still far too compressed. So this is probably not up there with some of the best, but it's also not the worst. And now we'll have a look at it in black and white night vision, which actually works much better, although if you look at me, I am very overexposed for a good portion of this video, to the point where you wouldn't be able to make out my features until now. It's kind of adjusted. Now you can make me out in much better detail. So for night vision, I would 100% use the black and white night vision option like you saw there over the colour night vision. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. We've covered how you install it. The two options, you can go solar powered or you can hardwire it. Well, or you could use it just battery powered if you want and have to recharge it. But again, I don't know why you would be buying a solar powered video doorbell if you weren't then going to use the solar panel. Obviously, I can't comment on how long the battery lasts, because that will depend on the number of times it's triggered per day. If you live in the middle of nowhere like me, I might not even get one trigger per day, as in actual someone's pressed a button. I trigger it as I approach it. If you live on a busy housing estate and people are walking past all the time, you know, you can set exclusion zones, of course, but you still might, if you wanted to, you could have it record everything that happens at the front of your property. So that would use the battery a lot faster. I also can't comment, obviously, on how well the solar panel works over a period of time. The days I was recording, we've had like 2 weeks of cloud here in the UK, so I had like almost no sunlight I had no sunlight to work with. It was still registering a slight charge even on a cloudy day. So I suspect on a nice bright sunny day, you're going to get a decent amount of trickle charge into this. But, you know, you've always got the option to manually charge it should you need to. So yeah, the physical side of things, okay, it's all good. Quality side of things, daytime footage comparable to most other ones I've used and tested, as is the audio. Colour night vision, probably a little below par compared to some others I've tested. Black and white night vision, up there with the best sort of black and white night vision that I've tested. So the price of this currently on Amazon, $109.99. Again, if you buy one without a solar panel, you'll be able to get a cheaper doorbell. Otherwise, it's fairly comparable to other, you know, smart video doorbells. Should you want one, there will be a link in the description. I think we've pretty much covered everything. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.